Hello, my name is FPL Pickle and welcome back to another video. So today is the day. I can't believe the Premier League is starting today. I've really missed it, and I thought it'd only be right to wear a Villa shirt. And I know they don't play today, they play tomorrow, but still, I'm really looking forward to it. So today I thought I'd give you guys a team selection video because I uploaded a video last week showing you a draft, and although it's not changed drastically since then, there have been a few tweaks to the team, such as like shifts in money across the board of the team and in terms of chip strategy as well. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give the video a like, and if you're new around here, please consider subscribing as well. I'm really close to 5k subscribers now, so if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate the support. And down below in the comments, let me know about what you like about the team and if there's anything you would change about the team or any suggestions that you might have based on the dilemmas I present to you today. So yeah, with that in mind, let's get into it. So as someone who has achieved back-to-back top 2k finishes, there is a little bit of pressure, I'm not going to lie, in terms of doing well this year. So with the team I've got, I've kind of tried to play it fairly safe. I've also got a couple of cheeky picks in there, which I kind of hope will boost me up the ranks at the beginning to start with anyway. I know that slow and steady wins the race, but that's the thought process behind the team that I present to you today. So starting off with the goalkeepers then, we have Sanchez, which hasn't really changed, and we then have Dubravka on the bench. So with Sanchez, I'm still pretty happy having Sanchez. I know the likes of Cole Will unfortunately getting injured with an ACL injury. I did briefly think, oh, do I still want to have Chelsea defence? But I think I'm still happy having that Chelsea defence cover. They've got very good fixtures and they were pretty good defensively last year. And I did think about the likes of Sales, but I don't really like to double up on defences unless I'm really keen on them, kind of like how I was with double Arsenal defence last year and the year before. So I'm pretty happy with Sanchez for now, and just generally with the goalkeepers, I don't really like many of them in terms of their value. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that for now. And then on the bench we have Dubravka, which is where it changes a little bit. Last week in my draft I had Kelleher with a bench boost 3 in mind. But the thing is with Kelleher, because of his injury, I've been kind of put off him, and there has been news that he's back in training, but it's still not 100% as to whether he's going to start in game week 1 or not. So at the moment, I've just decided, you know what, I'm just going to kind of take money off the bench and put it into my main 11 instead. And so because of that, I've now decided to bin off the bench boost. And I know that this has kind of happened with a lot of people. A lot of people were hot on bench boost 1, 2, 3. And I really wanted bench boost 3 to work, but the thing is, I was just kind of constantly thinking about it and constantly trying to make it work, if you know what I mean. I know that the bench boost is a bit of a headache in itself anyway, but I just felt like I was spending too much time trying to plan it, and I just thought, is it really worth trying to do this or trying to do it for the sake of it now that I've said I'm going to do it? So yeah, for now I've decided to bin it off, and I haven't really got a specific week in mind, but I just think I'm going to play it later now, because in previous seasons I'm just used to seeing how things go and then planning after that. I'm not really used to planning at the start of a season with a bench boost anyway, so it felt a bit new to me anyways. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at for now. Dubravka, I'm not expecting much. I probably won't play him. It'll probably just me playing Sanchez every week anyway. He would have maybe been nice in game week 2, but he's flagged anyway, so like I said, I'm pretty happy with Sanchez, and I don't think there's going to be any changes there before the deadline. So with the defenders, it's been really difficult to try and figure out what players I want to take advantage of to have in my team before the deadline. Whether I want to take advantage of the players that will be good for the DEFCON system, whether I want to try and target those really attacking defenders, or whether I just want to stick with really safe picks, such as like defenders like a Gabriel that play for a really good defence. So yeah, it has been really difficult, and at the moment, I feel like I've kind of gone more the more DEFCON safe route. So I have Williams, I have Anderson from Fulham, Pedro Porro, and then on the bench I've got Konsa and Esteve. So Williams, he's a player that's been in my team since the beginning pretty much. I really like him for 5 million. To be honest, I mean, if I had 0.5 million more, I probably would go for the likes of Milenkovic or Amarillo. But I think he is really good value, like can rack up the DEFCON points and also has a bit of attacking threat. And we know that Forest defence has been really good. I mean, 5 clean sheets across the pre-season, so good. I guess there's been a little bit of worry with the links with Leif Davis and Simicast, but I think, to be honest, he is going to be nailed, and that these guys just serve as backups, and nothing's been confirmed as it is anyway. And don't forget that Williams can play right back as well. So yeah, for now I'm pretty happy with him, and I think he's going to be a lock in my team. And then we have Anderson. He's a new addition. I just think that he's a really, really nice pick. He's really good for DEFCON. Fulham are a decent defence. And I really, really liked him at Crystal Palace. I don't know whether that bias kind of plays in a little bit. But I really, really like him as a player. And I'll show you guys later, but he rotates quite well with Konza. And just the kind of 4 defenders that I have that are going to play, they rotate really, really nicely for the first few game weeks. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that pick, and only 2.2% EO at the moment. That's pretty good, so I will take that. And then the next one is Pedro Porro at 5.5 million. Yeah, so one of the differences I have now is that I don't have a £6 million defender, because at the moment I just don't feel that any of them are really worth it to me. I mean, Gvardiol wasn't even in the last pre-season squad, and Van Dijk, I'm not overly convinced about Liverpool defence at the moment. With Cucurella, I've got Sanchez, so I'm not that keen on that. Even Arsenal defence, I'm not too sure on at the moment. So, yeah, I've gone for Pedro Porro at the moment because, you know, good fixture to start off with, of course, Burnley at home. And, you know, because of Maddison unfortunately being out with an ACL injury, Pedro Porro is going to be on some set pieces now. And he got an assist last night against PSG, so that definitely helps. I just think, you know, a couple of seasons ago, this guy was basically essential. I don't like to use that word, but he was so good and so attacking, and I'm kind of hoping that maybe we'll see that Pedro Porro again, so that's why he's in my team. And then on the bench, we got Konza, and I'm not too sure that people are going to like this pick that much because he's not been amazing for DEFCON if you look at the data from last year and whatnot, but I don't know, Villa are a decent defence, they've got good fixtures, he's a reliable player, he's going to play 90 minutes every single game, and you know what, he could rack up DEFCON points. We can't say that he definitely isn't going to, even though this data suggests that he won't. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, and like I said, he rotates pretty well, so don't know. You could consider the likes of Richards, who is probably better for DEFCON and is maybe a little bit more attacking as well. But because of the games that Crystal Palace have to play with the Europa Conference League, I'm a bit concerned about that in terms of him having to play so many minutes and the risk of him getting injured, for example. So I know that anything can happen in the game, but yeah, for safety, that's why I'm going for Konza for now. And then Estev, because I'm not going with the bench boost anymore, I'm pretty happy to have him on the bench. I'm not really going to play him. Maybe in 2 I would, but I probably wouldn't, honestly. He's just there, he's going to play, so I'm happy that he's on the bench, but that's it really with that. So yeah, now let's move on to the midfielders. So before we move on to the midfielders, I'm really delighted to announce that this video is sponsored by Club. And Club is a mobile football game that I've been playing for quite a while now, and I honestly really love it. I literally play it every single day. And it's basically a combination of Club Manager and fantasy football. And what's really cool about it is I'm actually part of the game, as you can see here. I'm the head of sales and ticketing, so I get you that money, which is really good in terms of upgrading your clubs. So that's really exciting. And as you can see on the screen here, you've got your club and I've got a little pickle emblem there. And my favourite thing about it is that you get to meet with an agent regularly called Manny, and he's there to help you he kind of offers you players, and then you can kind of pick and see what players you want for your team, so you can build it as you want within your budget. So what I'm going to do right here, right now, is meet with Manny and see what player I get. And what I really like to do before each time I do this is guess which player I'm going to get. So today I'm going to guess that I'm going to get Adam Wharton. So we'll see which player we get now. So I'm going to meet with Manny and tap to reveal. Base, core, defender, Bournemouth, okay, 77. We've got Smith, no, so it wasn't Adam Wharton, and I think based on the team that I have, I'm going to reject him and get a bit of some coins for that. So I'll show you now, I'm just going to grab that cash there. So, but yeah, this is my team that I've got ahead of the deadline. I'm actually really happy with it. I mean, there are a couple of areas where I could improve it a little bit, like my defence, my midfield, but I'm within the salary cap and I've got some pretty good players like Watkins, and I've got Salah on loan as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and I'm really excited for the season to begin. So yeah, I really recommend you guys using the link down below in the description to download clubs so that you can get a team ready ahead of the deadline. The deadline's really soon, so it'd be really good if you can get a team together. And I'd also love if you guys could join my league, the Pickle League, and the code is above, so it's 8CVY7QL. And it'd be so nice to see as many of you as possible. I'd love to compete with as many of you as possible, so yeah, please do that. And yeah, again, thank you so much, Club, for sponsoring the video. Let's get back to the team selection. So, in the midfield, to start off with, we have Mohamed Salah, and he's my captain for game week 1. Probably not too surprising, although we know that he hasn't had the best of pre-seasons. I think only scored 1 goal, and he's missed 2 penalties now, so there might be the question of, is he going to be on pens? But I think he still will be on pens, and it's Mo Salah. I'm way too traumatised from the start of last season to go about him. He's just such a good player. Yeah, there's not too much to say about that. I'm okay backing him. I will continue to back him. If he really does continue to not perform very well, then I can always downgrade him to someone else and move money around my team. I'm happy to do that. But for now, I think it would be unwise to go without him anyway, especially because I'm playing a little bit more safe in that regard. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And then Palmer, again, he's been in my team the whole of pre-season. Not much to say there. 90-minute man on penalties. Good fixtures to start off with. I'm happy with that pick. He wasn't ever going to leave my team, really, so that's that. And then Rodgers, he's back in the team. So we saw that he got injured in one of the pre-season games, and there were worries that will he even come back for game week 1. So I had him out of my team for a little bit, but we've seen that he's back in training and he's a minutes monster, so I reckon he'll start in game week 1. And Newcastle have been a bit of a mess, so I'm pretty happy to have him. And I think even with all the new signings going on with Gessend and Asensio potentially coming back on loan, I think that only Watkins and Rodgers are probably the best players to have in Villa in terms of their attacks. I just think there's so many uncertainties going on in terms of how we're going to line up. I think these two are going to be the safest. And with the pre-season that Villa have had, I'm really happy to have Rodgers in my team. So yeah, he's in. But because of that, I've had to change my team a little bit. I kind of got myself set on a team without him, but I don't think I can go without him in game week 1. So yeah. Then we have Wirtz, and this is a new addition to the team. We've seen in pre-season he's been playing really well, been very creative, been on some set pieces as well. And I think, especially with the uncertainties around Salah at the moment, it's kind of nice to have a little bit more Liverpool attack going on. They've been so good attacking-wise. So I'm very happy to have him in my team. I guess the main debate has been, do I go for Wirtz or do I go for Bruno Fernandes? But with going with Bruno Fernandes, it would mean I would have to make a couple of tweaks to my team, which I may talk about a little bit later. But for now, I think to the fixtures as well, I know that Bruno has Burnley in game week 3, and that's potentially a really good captaincy shout. But for now, I'm pretty happy with Wirtz. I may get convinced to do otherwise, so you'll have to let me know what you guys think about the Wirtz-Fernandes debate. I've been thinking about it the last couple of days, and I think for now I'm pretty happy with Wirtz anyway. So then that leads us on to the next player that I have in my midfield, which is Reinders. And this is the more risky pick that I have in my team, because we know Pep Roulette, we know what he's like. He's an absolute demon, isn't he? But anyway, Reinders, a brace in 45 minutes, looked absolutely incredible. And I think even with Rodri, I don't think he'll play that deep, and I think he could be really good. And it'd just be nice to have a bit of Man City attack as well, because I don't have Haaland, obviously. Well, I'm sure you could gather that anyway. So yeah, he'd be really nice to have in my team, but is that kind of case of, do I stick with this and take a little bit of risk, or do I play it a bit more safe and go for the likes of an Anderson from Forest instead? Or if I do want Fernandes, then potentially I could downgrade Reinders and get a Dewsbury Hall, for example. So that's also an option. So you guys will have to let me know what you think about that. I've been really struggling to think about it, but for now I do quite like this lineup. And you'll see with the forwards, I kind of wasn't fancying having so little money on the forwards, if that makes sense. So I don't have both Fernandes and Wirtz. I think I'm happy just having one or the other for now. But yeah, that's the midfield. You'll have to let me know what you think. So in the front line, we have Ollie Watkins, of course. I'm not going without him. 5 goals, 1 assist in pre-season, scored in every single pre-season game. He's been an absolute monster. You know what? I haven't owned Watkins that much in FPL in previous years, but for me, he just seems like, I don't know, not essential, but I don't think I can go without him. I think I'd have a heart attack. So yeah, we're sticking with Watkins. And then the other 2 forwards I have are Fulkrug from West Ham, and then on the bench we've got Strand Larsen, and he's been there since the last video. So with Fulkrug, he was in my video that I did uploaded yesterday, or the day before, sorry, on my pickle preview video, saying that he would be one of my pickles punts. I really like him for 6 mil. I think he provides really good value. I think that people are a bit worried about his minutes, but I think he'll honestly play every single game. I know that Wilson's around, but let's be honest, Wilson's not very fit, is he? I don't think he's going to be starting any games, at least for now. And Sunderland away is such a good fixture. And I know that I said in the last video as well that I wasn't really keen on Thiago at all, but it seems like the striker that Brentford were looking at, Nottingham Forest, has now signed. So it could be that Thiago does become an option in the future. I'm still not majorly convinced, but if it seems like Thiago is a good option, then I have, the money to switch him from Fulkrug to him, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's that. And then on the bench, we have Strand Larsen, which is a pick that I had in my previous draft video as well. I think that Wolves have pretty good fixtures to start off the season. I know that Man City at home is not the best, and that's why he's on the bench, but I wouldn't mind playing him, to be fair. And I just think he's a talisman of the team, and I know there's a bit of debate about this, but I think that Strand Larsen will take the penalties when they, hopefully and finally win one. I did predict in my previous video, actually, that Wolves will win a pen against Man City, so it'd be really good if that actually happens and we'd finally know. It could be Arias, but yeah, I think with the fact that, JSL is meant to be like the talisman of the team, I'm hoping that he does take the penalties for Wolves. And I think for 6.5 million, he could be really good value, and I'm hoping that Wolves find their feet a little bit as the season progresses. If I had the money, I probably would prefer to go up to a João Pedro, for example, but I kind of wanted to put more money into the midfield, and I'm personally not a fan of having GW at the moment. I know that a lot of people are going for GW because it gives them more money to put in the midfield and maybe to get a second striker that's a bit more expensive. But I'm a bit worried that it's just like a price drop waiting to happen. It might be that I could pick him up later, but he's flagged at the moment as well. So yeah, I'm just avoiding. I don't mind having a little bit more money in the forwards. And for example, if Wirtz doesn't work out, then I can downgrade him and upgrade places in the future. So yeah, that's the team at the moment, and now I'll just quickly jump on to FPL teams so I can show you a little bit about the tweaks that I may look into. So here we are, I've plugged my team into FPL team. Another quick shout out to Pete, I love his site, I use it all the time. But yeah, so here's the team for game week 1, so I just wanted to quickly show you some of the other options I was looking at. So it could be that I go for Bruno Fernandes, because there has been a report from PGMOL about the fact that they're going to be a bit harsher with penalties now, so maybe pen takers is the way to go. So it might be that I bring in Bruno and then downgrade Reinders to Dewsbury Hall. I tried to record this and it wouldn't let me type, so I'm having to do it like this, so sorry about that. So it could be like this instead. Doesn't look quite as nice, but then another pen taker, and Dewsbury Hall's been very impressive. Everton fans seem to be really, really happy with him. Could be playing as the 10. So for 5 mil as well, he could provide really, really good value. So that's potentially an option. Or I was even looking at potentially downgrading Wirtz even. No, downgrading Rodgers, sorry, not Wirtz. And putting another 5.5 in. So like an Anderson probably, and having Reinders and Anderson, and then having João Pedro instead of Strand Larsen. And I kind of thought about it, but I am kind of concerned about having 2 5.5s. I really can't multitask. I'm really trying, What do I even want to do right now? You know what? You're going to have to imagine it. I'm really sorry. But imagine that this is Anderson and that is Reinders, and then imagine that this here is João Pedro instead of Strand Larsen. and then I'd probably bench one of them. So it'd be more like this. Oh, this is such a bad video, I'm really bad. I really wanted to try and show you, but I know for a fact that if I try and start clicking and I can't just type as well, that I'm just going to lose my thought process. So yeah, so I am thinking about that, but I'm not too serious about it because having two 5.5 midfielders is a little bit risky, I think, and doesn't provide me with much flexibility. It would be quite nice to have João Pedro, but then there are concerns about his minutes anyway, but he has looked really good, so it is one that I'm thinking about. You'll have to let me know what you think, but yeah. So this is not, but I've showed you the team that I'm looking at, and I hope you really like it. So yeah, that's the team. So there we have it, that's my FPL Game Week 1 team. I'm sorry about that little bit of unprofessionalism at the end there, my attention span is rough. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the team and if you have any suggestions of something that I can change for the deadline. And yeah, above I have my league code. I'd love for you guys to join. I'd love to compete with as many of you as possible, so please join before the deadline. So that is 5LIC13. And then above I also have my X handle, which is FPL_pickle. I'll be uploading my team right before the deadline. I upload my team every single week, and I'm usually just waffling on there, but I'd love to see as many of you on there as possible. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I can't believe we're nearly here now, so close to the deadline. Make sure your teams are locked in. And yeah, I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye now.